Hey friends and family, how is everyone? Hope everybody's good. Okay, so shall we go back in? Let's go back in, shall we? So where did we start? Did we leave off? We left off in John 6. So they were talking about Passover, and he turned to Peter and said, "Will you go also?" Because he was talking about eating my flesh and drinking my blood. We spoke about that. People have misunderstood this. The Bible being in the wrong hands. And that's all what it's been about over the centuries. People misunderstanding it. And then people deliberately changing everything. This is that bread which come down from heaven, not as your fathers did eat manna, and are dead. He that eateth of this bread shall live forever. These things said he in the synagogue as he taught in Capernaum. Many therefore of his disciples, when they heard this, they said, "This is a hard saying. Who can hear it?" When Yeshua knew in himself that his disciples murmured at it, he said unto them, "Does this offend you?" It is the spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profiteth nothing. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit, they are life. But there are some of you that believe not. For Yeshua knew from the beginning who they were that believed not, and who should betray him. This is a hard saying. So here we are, Matthew 10. Now there are certain chapters in this Bible which are just for the certain, they're for the few. He's speaking specifically to the few. That's what a lot of people don't understand. He's speaking to the few. So much in this Bible is talking to different groups, different categories. There's different levels of people in the faith. And sometimes he's talking about unbelievers. Sometimes he's talking about people in the faith. But there are some chapters which are specifically for the few. And I'm sure these are the ones who get to go up. It's funny because people don't seem to talk about going up much. In Christendom, people are all about the rapture. But in the Hebrew community, nobody talks about going up. That's just, it's confusing. There's something wrong with that. There's something seriously wrong with that. And in Christendom, they talk about going to heaven. But in the Hebrew community, it's all about the kingdom. We got to get this right. We got to sort this out seriously. We all need to be on the same page. But I totally understand how the whole world is not going to listen to us until that beautiful day. Because the whole world is trained not to listen to us, not to respect us. People need to be led in this faith by the Hebrews. But with all the brainwashing, with all the arrogance, with all the leaders of the free world, it's very difficult for people to let go and be led But that's the way it's going to be. That's the way it's going to be. That's the whole point in the final tests. You ain't going to listen, so you're going to have to stay for the final tests. It's shocking. Why does nobody talk about going up? I'm not aiming for the Exodus. Exodus is plan B. I'm aiming to go up. And that sounds crazy to non-believers. But if that's what the book says, that's what I'm aiming for. Because I don't want to be around, seriously. I'm looking to get taken on eagle's wings and get put in that sanctuary. I'm not looking to go through the madness, because the tribulation is going to be madness enough. But after the tribulation, the faithful and true get placed in another place. That is the first resurrection. After that, second resurrection. But I'm getting there. I'm going to lay it all out. You have to let me finish. You have to let me finish. Let me lay this out. So, Matthew 10. I've got 39 minutes, okay. And when he had called unto him his 12 disciples, he gave them power against unclean spirits to cast them out, and to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease. We would all love that right now, but it's obviously for a time. He was with them. He told them they could do it. They couldn't quite do it. They did it and then they couldn't do it. But after he left, he was with them, he left. He commanded them to do it. Show and tell, training. Faith is going to be for a time. Now, the names of the 12 apostles are these. First, Simon, who is called Peter, and Andrew, his brother. James, the son of Zebedee, and his brother John. Philip and Bartholomew, Thomas and Matthew the publican, James, the son of Alphaeus, and Lebbaeus, whose surname was Thaddeus. See how he's specifically talking about people. Simon the Canaanite. Never forget that. Simon the Canaanite. And Judas Iscariot, who also betrayed him. These 12 Yeshua sent forth and commanded them, saying, so he's chosen his 12. He commanded them, saying, he's letting them know who they are and what's going to happen to them. Go not into the way of the Gentiles, and into any of the Samaritans enter you not. But go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Yasharel. And as you go, preach, saying, the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Heal the sick, cleanse the lepers, raise the dead, cast out devils. Freely ye have received, freely give. Provide neither gold nor silver nor brass in your purses, nor scrip for your journey, neither 2 coats, neither shoes, nor yet staves, for the workman is worthy of his meat. And into whatsoever city or town ye shall enter, inquire who in it is worthy, and there abide till ye go thence. So, in whatever town or city ye shall enter, inquire it who is worthy, who is listening, who is actually listening and paying attention and reading along and making notes and reading by themselves, who's praying, who's understanding. Who wants to know? Who seeks salvation? And who seeks the everlasting life? And will ye come into a house, salute it. And if the house be worthy, let your peace come upon it. But if it be not worthy, let your peace return unto you. Who's your local shepherd? Who's your local Israelite? Everybody knows where the church is. And whosoever shall not receive you, nor hear your words, when ye depart out of that city or house, shake the dust off your feet. That's for that time. You see, we have these things. We don't have a church because we're all individuals, but we have our YouTube channels. So people can choose to turn off, you know. You don't have to be getting irate. You don't have to argue. When people turn up on your feed, all you need to do is go to that bottom right hand corner, press on those 3 little dots, go right to the bottom, second from bottom, do not recommend channel, and we don't exist anymore. It's as simple as that. Verily I say unto you, it shall be more tolerable for the land of Sodom and Gomorrah in the day of judgment than for that city. We're going to go into that. Because that's huge. There's statements like this which all add together. And it's really telling you something really loud and clear. When I get there, I will lay it out. We will have a recap. Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove. I send you out sheep amongst wolves. We all know what that means. But that's also where the saying wolves in sheep's clothing comes from, right? You are sheep amongst wolves, but there are also wolves in sheep's clothing. You know, at the end of the day, when the time comes, we'll see who's who. We'll see who's there. Especially as I'm talking about that specific group which gets to go, which gets put in safety. Not everybody gets to go up. There's no rapture for all the believers. It's the few. But beware of men, for they will deliver you up to the councils, and they will scourge you in their synagogues. And ye shall be brought before governors and kings for my sake, for a testimony against them and the Gentiles. Nobody's taking us nowhere, not yet. Not until they're ready to bring down the hammer on the whole of humanity. It's not happening yet. It's been done online right now, and they visit certain people's churches to make sure if they're going along with the government approved doctrines. But they keep an eye on everybody, and they know you from your YouTube channel, and you're on the list or you're not on the list. They don't need to do that. It's all in the shadows. What for them, it's making sure nobody knows, you can't prove nothing, and nobody believes that anything's happening. But trust me, they know you by your channels. But when they deliver you up, take no thought how or what ye shall speak, For it shall be given you in that same hour what ye shall speak. For it is not ye that speak, but the Spirit of your Father which speaketh in you. They don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear a strong rebuke. So they're not bringing you yet. It's not happening. It's not happening. But for a classic example, read Acts 6 and 7. They don't want to hear that because they're already hearing it on your channel. They don't want to hear it to their face. For it is not ye that speak, but your Father which speaketh in you. And brother shall deliver up brother to death, and father the child, and the children shall rise up against their parents and cause them to be put to death. And ye shall be hated of all men for my sake. Why do they fear some? Why? You have to understand who hates us, brothers. Because we dismantling centuries of doctrine. We dismantling centuries of hard work. So you got to understand. That is certain people who are crying out for us to be shut down. They're listening. Like I said, the whole world is watching. And you have to believe that. And you have to understand it. But nobody quite believes. Everyone's waiting for the miracle. That's when everything changes. Everyone's just waiting. Remember Micah 4 and 11? Meditate on that. There are plenty bowing down to idols and burning incense to other idols. Nobody cares about them. They're not getting persecuted, are they? People come in with all kinds of madness, like nobody cares. It's you. But he that endureth to the end shall be saved. No matter what they do. Nobody's stealing your faith once you personally get to a certain level. Only you can strengthen your faith. But when they persecute you in this city, flee to another. You see, it's the persecution that makes it real. It's the persecution that strengthens your faith. But when they persecute you in this city, flee to another. For verily I say to you, you shall not have gone over the cities of Yasharel till the Son of Man be come. Now this is what I was looking for before, and I couldn't quite find it. And then I said, you know what, I know it. And I paraphrased it. But let's get that specific verse because I've got it written down here. You see, I have it in my head. I might not be able to find it on the spot. But when I get to it in the book, I have it written down. Second Esdras 15. 17 to 19. Second Esdras 15, 17 to 19. This is what I keep saying. They're ready. They're ready. Flee to another city. This is so important for us believers because they've been coming over this book for centuries and they've been updating it over the decades along with how the world has changed. For the sword and misery draw near them, and nations shall rise up to fight against nation with swords in their hands. For there shall be unrest among the people, growing strong against one another. They shall in their might have no respect for their king or the chief of their leaders. For a person will desire to go into a city and shall not be able to do so. Because of their pride, the cities shall be in confusion, the houses shall be destroyed, and people shall be afraid. People shall have no pity for their neighbours, but shall make an assault upon their houses with the sword, and plunder their goods, because of hunger for bread, and because of great tribulation. Second Esdras 15 and 16, basically book of Second Esdras, is telling us what's happening in your communities, in your cities, in your towns. You get to Revelation 17, that's what's happening at a political level, with the nations, with the armies. That's why they removed it. They didn't want us to know what's going to happen to us. They want you just nonchalant and casual, thinking Jesus is coming to save us. But no, Jesus is waiting for you. He's waiting till the end. He's waiting for the final tests. So then it comes down to that specific group who get put in safety. Who are they? And why? And how do you get into that group? And guess what? But when they persecute you in this city, flee ye unto another city. Verily I say to you, you shall not go over the cities in Israel till the Son of Man be come. A meaning for them and a meaning for us. It had a meaning for them and it has a meaning for us. Guess what verse number that is? 23. I notice these things. I don't go crazy with it. I notice it. The disciple was not above his master, nor servant above his. The disciple is not above his teacher, nor the servant above his master. Basically, if you're learning, if you're in the beginning, you're not above the person who's teaching you to preach in you. And the person preaching and teaching to you is not above Christ. It is enough for the disciple that he be as his master and the servant as his master. If they have called the master of the house BLZB, let's say, I don't want to actually say it, BLZB, how much more shall they call them of his household? So if you're following Christ now, you believe the scriptures, you're with the Most High now, and people saying you're evil. You're evil. It's like you get it all the time. Oh, people say, oh, well, I do believe in God, but I don't agree with the Bible. It's just like, so what God? What God then? What is it you don't agree with in the Bible? And it's the obvious things. This is what people do not like: rules and consequences. If they have called the master of the house BLZB, how much more shall they call them of his house? So obviously, you know this, I know this. A lot of people think we're evil. A lot of people think we're wrong, we're bad people. plus also the fact that they think that we think we're better than them, and people will always demonize you. You know this by now. You know this by now. If you're an unbeliever, why are you listening? Like I said, the three little dots, not interested. If you're on the fence, I don't know what's going to get you to hop on the right side of the fence. But understand, so this is exactly what Joshua was talking about. Joshua 24:15. And if it seem evil unto you to serve the Most High, choose you this day whom you will serve, whether the gods which your fathers served that were on the other side of the flood, or the gods of the Amorites, in whose land ye dwell. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Most High. Exodus 32:26. Then Moses stood in the gate of the camp and said, Who is on the Lord's side? Let him come to me. And all the sons of Levi gathered themselves unto him. And he said unto them, Thus saith the Most High, God of Yasharel, put every man his sword by his side, and go in and out from the gate to gate throughout the camp, and slay every man his brother, and every man his companion, and every man his neighbour. That was then. Now, plagues. And you're going to get caught up in the war. You're going to get caught up in the war. That's why we're ready. Because nobody is guaranteed to live through this. So even if you do get slayed in the war, you're going to get brought back. Fear them not, therefore, for there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, and hid that shall not be known. Rules and consequences. So at the end of the day, once we get there, once you're in that judgment seat, and certain people are on the right and certain people are on the left, you're going to know why. You're going to know why. What I tell you in darkness, that ye speak in light. And what ye hear in the ear, that ye preach upon the housetops. Preach it on YouTube. What you hear in the ear, preach on YouTube. We don't stand on housetops anymore. You're going to slide off the roof. Some of us live in 20-story flats. Nobody's going to hear you up there. And plus the rat race. Nobody's listening. Which I tell you in darkness. That I tell you in darkness. That ye speak in light. And what you hear in the ear, that you preach on the housetops. Baby turtle hatchlings. The wild horses. The 5 men. And fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul. But rather fear him which is able to destroy both the soul and the body in hell. That is the entanglement of the rich and powerful. Fear them not which kill the body. That's exactly what they're all involved in. In their mutually assured destruction, the secrets the lies, the unspeakable things. That's how world domination is achieved. That's mutually assured destruction. And that's how everyone keeps stum. The Epstein files, the redacted women. Oh, what stories could they tell? And like I said, they ain't gonna tell nothing because they're mothers now, they're wives now, they've got careers now. Plus, everyone's taken money. So if you grow a conscience and you want to squeal now, your life's in jeopardy. But fear not them which kill the body, but are not capable to kill the soul. Fear him which will send you to the second death. People are going to understand that when it's time, and they're going to regret it. And you're going to be so grateful that you kept the faith. There's no other alternative. We may go to our deaths, our generation, we may go to our deaths in old age, and this thing hasn't played out yet. But then when you finally realize it happened, you're with Abraham now, you'll think, I kept the faith at least. The worst nightmare is to be caught, to be found. Oh, you know. Are not 2 sparrows sold for a farthing, and one of them shall not fall to the ground without your Father? Nothing dies without the Most High say so. But the very hairs on your head are all numbered. Fear you not, therefore, for you are of more value than sparrows. That's for us in the faith. That's for us. We are worth more value. That's going to make sense when the world is falling apart in chaos. Because this is what you're reading. What's going to be left over is the wicked and the God-fearing. Everyone in between would have fallen away, melted away, be hiding away. There's going to be very few people left. But these two, the God-fearing and the godless, are going to be left specifically for the harvest, the wheat and tares. That's what you're reading in the parable. Do not tear them up until the end. Do not tear them up, because it's going to be visible. And the Most High wants everyone to see. Whosoever therefore shall confess me before men, him will I confess also before my Father which is in heaven. People latch on to that. But you need to make sure you're doing more than just drawing near with your mouths. Sometimes you get these YouTubers who stand on the street and they say, is Jesus your Lord and Savior? And everybody says, yes. Is Jesus your Lord and Savior? Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's a lot more than that. And that's what the final tests are for. You see, we're doing it now. Everybody who knows you knows you're a believer. There's no secret about it. They know you keep Sabbath. They know you're single for a reason. They know you understand there's no such thing as boyfriend and girlfriend, and everything else which makes you a true believer, which makes you dedicated. Laws, statutes, and commandments. But that's something different for Gentiles and for the Hebrews. But whosoever shall deny me before men, him also I will deny before my Father which is in heaven. That's what the mark of the beast is all about. Denying him before men. 2,000 years, remember. If you take that mark, there's no excuse, because you know what the mark means. There's no excuse. And that's the final test. Can you see not? They're going to force you to deny Christ and the Most High by taking that mark. And these are going to be desperate times. This is the whole point. This ain't going to be easy for any of us. That's why people's dead bodies are lying in the street before the mark. Because of the list of people who they know are going to be trouble. They're going to get rid of them first. They're going to get rid of all the preachers, all the pastors, all the teachers, everybody who's saying, this is it, this is the time, this is near, this is it, this is it, this is it. Everybody who's ringing the alarm bell. They're gonna, why are their bodies lying in the street? Because we're gonna be summoned, and we're gonna be the first ones offered the mark. And if you don't take it, smite the shepherd, the sheep will be scattered. And then if you are a shepherd and you got that thing in your hand, then you're adjusting your doctrines, and then your whole flock is going to take it. You're going to say, it doesn't matter. Jesus will understand. You're hungry. You need a job. You need a home. Everything's going to be fine because you were a coward. You're going to talk other people into it. This is why we pray that we have the strength to withstand when that time comes. But whosoever denies me before men, him also I will deny before my Father which is in heaven. Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I am come not to send peace, but a sword. Oh yeah, I forgot. Guess what verse number that was? Whosoever shall deny me before men, him will I also deny before my Father in heaven. Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. For I am not to send peace, but a sword. For I am come to send a man at variance against his father, and a daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. For obvious reasons. For obvious reasons. Think about it. This is why I keep telling you that it's going to be a time of desperation. And people aren't going to want to hear hold out. People are going to want to get back to the alcohol. They're going to want to get back to the partying. They're going to want some money. They're going to want to see their friends. It's going to be explained as a way back to normality. All the companies are going to be in on it. You can't get paid. Nothing without this thing. And a man's foes shall be they of his own household. Like I said before, some people that's quite literally. But in these times, that was also about your employees. Because people used to live in their master's house. He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me, and he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. That is a hard saying. But when you think about what's coming, when you think about the book of Revelation, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and then 13 all the way to 17. You understand. Second Esdras 15 and 16. You understand. Youngsters, consider your parents. Consider your parents. Because think about it, when everyone's lined up on the right and on the left, your parents are going to see you on the left and they're on the right. You're going to have to watch your parents be murdered for not taking this mark. Consider your parents. Because guess what? What's in the 10 Commandments? Honor thy mother and thy father. It's all about coming to this point. Big picture stuff. And he that taketh not his cross and followeth after me is not worthy of me. Revelation 14:13. We use that a lot. I'm carrying my cross. That's my cross to bear. But this is the true meaning. If they're threatening to kill you for taking that mark, that's the cross you go to. He that findeth his life shall lose it. And he that loses his life for my sake shall find it. There's nothing clearer than that. Bullets, beans, Bible, think again. Think again. He that receiveth you receiveth me, and he that receiveth he that receiveth you receiveth me, and he that receiveth me receiveth him that sent me. Everybody hates an Israelite. Like I said, he that receiveth you receiveth me, and he that receiveth me receiveth him that sent me. It's prophecy unfolding. But yet everyone hates an Israelite. Why? Doctrine. You're dismantling centuries old doctrine. He that receiveth a prophet in the name of a prophet shall receive a prophet's reward, and he that receiveth a righteous man in the name of a righteous man shall receive a righteous man's reward. Go back to the Old Testament. The prophets said it's not okay, but the world today says it's okay. And whosoever shall give to drink one of these little ones a cup of water only in the name of the disciple, verily I say to you, he shall no wise lose his reward. Even a little Padawan, little learner, somebody who's wanting to learn, receive them, give them the word. Give them the word. But also, at the end of the day, we all have to read for ourselves. We all have the book. And as for your own personal salvation, that's up to you. He that receiveth a prophet in the name of a prophet shall receive a prophet's reward. You know, some people, they will invite you to their church. Are you inviting me to your church, or are you inviting me to your pulpit? But as it says, he that receiveth you receiveth me. Everyone hates an Israelite because of the doctrines. You're dismantling centuries of their doctrines. How can we go to your church when you're worshipping on a Sunday, when you're still blathering on about Easter and Christmas? The prophet said it's not okay. You never approach a man of God as a stranger. It's dishonest. If you know he's a man of God, you approach him as a man of God.